One love to all of you wonderful deep divers. How you feeling today? I said shout out to all the deep divers. How you feeling today? Let's breathe. Let's inhale it all up, deep divers. Let's go. Woo! Breathing in that good ass prana, baby. Take that, take that, take that. Good ass energy I'm sending you, deep divers of planet Earth. I hope you're taking care of yourself. I woke up just raising the frequency. Just here to remind you to start raising the vibration. Peace. Infinite waters, diving deep once again. Beautiful deep divers, we are here in the amazing Nature Art Gallery. And I truly hope your day is going good, deep divers. How you feeling today? Look, I'm FaceTiming you right now, deep divers. I want you to remember, in this very moment, you can trust that everything is going to be okay. I want to remind you of that, deep divers, because so much is happening in the world. Just when you thought it was over, deep divers, just when you thought it was over, like the cat down the road thought COVID was over. It was celebrating, partying, but apparently COVID is not over. In a lot of parts of the world, it's still on, deep divers, because in China, COVID isn't over. They still have lockdowns, quarantine. First of all, deep divers, if you are watching this video, I want everybody to hit that like button. Hit that like button, deep divers. Let's get this video into the algorithm. Hit that like button right now because this message needs to be heard. Deep divers, being free is your birthright. I always remind you of that. And all around the world, people are starting to stand up for their freedom. In Iran, in China, and there is a world uprising, China's COVID uprising. We're going to talk about it, deep divers, because so much is going on in China right now, just when you thought it was over. No. COVID lockdowns are in full effect in China. And because of this, there have been massive protests. What does this all mean? What does this all mean, deep divers? Well, we're going to dive into it. And we ain't even had breakfast yet. Can I get a hello? So, being free is your birthright. They can take the cat down the road. They can take the dog down the road, but they will never take my freedom. Actually, leave the cat down the road and the dog down the road exactly where they are, deep divers, okay? They don't belong to you. So, deep divers, world uprising. Let's talk about everything that's been happening in this crazy ass world, right? That a lot of people are living in. So, just when you thought it was over, deep divers, let's talk about this, because I told you, COVID is not over. What does COVID mean? Creating our vision in detail. Slow motion this side. So let me get you up to speed, deep divers. Anti-lockdown protests in China spread as fury grows over zero COVID policy. Students rally outside universities and crowds march in Shanghai and Beijing after overnight clashes with police in rare outpouring of public anger. China COVID riots spread. So, as you can see, in China, a lot of people are very unhappy with the draconian new COVID lockdowns. Let me give you some backstory, deep divers. Let me give you some backstory. So, Chinese police clashed with thousands protesting draconian COVID lockdowns as unprecedented civil unrest grips country after 10 died in fire when building doors were locked to stop virus spread. Anti-lockdown protests in China spread as fury grows over zero COVID policy. Students rally outside universities and crowds march in Shanghai and Beijing after overnight clashes with police and rare outpouring of public anger. So a lot is happening, deep divers, in China, and I tell you, prepare yourself mentally and emotionally for what's coming, because COVID is not over. COVID is not over. I had to go to the optician, get my blue light glasses, and they're like, you got to wear a face mask here, right? It's not over. Because I'm sure a lot of you know, a lot of people thought it was over. But when you realize what's going on in China and other places in the world, it's far from over. China is seeing new outbreaks of COVID. And this is the reason why there have been so many protests in China, because 10 people died in a fire. And many people are blaming this on the draconian lockdown measure. The draconian lockdown measures, right? So I'm here to remind you, deep divers, this message is going to inspire you. First and foremost, let love guide you and not fear. At the same time, keep your eyes open, because you got to remind yourself we are in the midst of spiritual warfare. And all of these things which are happening in the world, civil unrest, are symptoms of a great disease. And that disease is the human condition. We see a world uprising happening right now, and that's a good thing. That people are starting to say, wait a minute, it's about our freedom. And we must protect our freedom at any cost. And like I say, deep divers, you already know there have been people getting censored left, right, center. Even the cat down the road got censored. And I'm here to remind you to continue to speak your truth, deep divers, even if your voice shakes. Because we've got to remind ourselves that the last few years were horrible for a lot of people. Being in lockdown, a lot of people don't want to revisit that. But you got to remind yourself, in China is still happening. And just like deep divers, that first initial wave in 2019, then it spread. It started in China, then it spread all around the world. So be vigilant about what's going on in China. I'm here to remind you, deep divers, that we are so powerful. We are so powerful. And we've got to say no to slavery. We've got to say no to anything that takes away our human freedoms and liberties. And like I say, a lot of people are standing up for their truth, standing up in their power. And I want to remind you to continue to do that, because there is nothing to be afraid of. All you have to do is realize that you came here to be free. And this is the tremendous world uprising that's happening. All over the world, people are saying, actually, being free is my birthright. I didn't come here to live in lockdown 24/7. I came here to be free. So what you see in China is what you saw in Trafalgar Square in the United Kingdom when COVID was in full effect. A lot of people were out there protesting, saying, actually, we are choosing our freedom. Thank you very much. And like I say, deep divers, there's nothing to be afraid of, because you have nothing to lose except your freedom. Slow motion this side. But remind yourself, deep divers, pay attention to what's happening. You see, nothing is happening by accident. Everything is happening for a reason. And when you see the spirit of humanity rebelling to say, actually, we refuse these draconian lockdown measures. It gives other people courage and strength to say, actually, no, we ain't having it. Enough is enough. And like I told you, deep divers, don't be afraid, because fear is how they control you. Fear is how they trap you. And fear is how they enslave you. Let love guide you, not fear, today, deep divers, and remind yourself, just because it's happening in China, don't think that it's not coming to a place near you. And that's the reason right now you want to make sure you're letting love guide you and not fear. You want to make sure you're preparing yourself for what's coming, because COVID isn't over. And that's the reason why you have to make sure you're doing everything to protect yourself for when it comes and arrives at your doorstep. Deep divers of planet Earth, I want everyone to hit that like button. Let's get this message out there to remind the whole world that there is nothing to fear, and to let love guide them and not fear. And that's why I'm just saying, deep divers, feels so good to be alive, baby. Can I get a hello? There. Beautiful deep divers of planet Earth, let's breathe. Woo! Breathing in that good ass prana, baby. Shout out to everyone who's here, deep divers. Now go and check out that book, the best-selling book, Feel Alive by Ralph Smart, on Amazon, and at ralphsmart.com/the-book, the Bible of Becoming Your Greatest Version. Also, go and get the Good Ass Prana shirts at ralphsmart.com/clothes. Deep divers of planet Earth, here to remind you, we are the power we always were and we always will be. Let love guide you and not fear, deep divers. Peace. Infinite waters, diving deep once again. Stay well, stay healthy. Peace. Yo! Once again, deep divers, hit that like button right now. Let's get this message into the algorithm and choose love over fear. One love to all of you wonderful deep divers. One love, peace.